Paul Curley's Focke-Wulf 190 short nose. Needs a pilot, I think, but didn't do well. Don't know what happened. 27th place, 89.5. Paul usually does a little better. 89.5 static points might be what kept him out. And yet, to look at this airplane from here, it looks fabulous. The judges must have not liked something. This is what it takes to be competitive in the U.S. Masters. Nice touch. Fuel filler cap, I guess. I think Paul went on to wrap this thing up on a later flight. I'm not sure. Something bad happened to this airplane. Nice takeoff, though, huh? Ooh, a little zoomy. Good flyby. Here's our approach to landing. Let's see how he does. Well, he nailed the center line just about, didn't he? Oh, there's that skid. We gotta stop turning them airplanes so quick, guys. Lee Rice, KI 100, the radial engine version of the Tony that I fly. Great flying airplane. Lee did 11th place this year, 91.5 static points. He reduced a set of plans that you can purchase for this airplane by 4%, and that's where he got his 86-inch wingspan, 16-pound airplane. Uses a Super Tiger 2500, and he is one of the best flyers probably at the Masters. I call him a sleeper, and the plane looks good. Too bad there weren't some differently or more attractive color schemes other than that plain green, but he does fly it well. Nice wide landing gear. Japanese Thunderbolt. I mean, sets up like a Thunderbolt. Watch this gear. Watch this landing gear. Just pop to the ground. Bingo. Well, a little too quick on the turnout, but that's okay. He got away with it.
This is George Sisti from Seattle, Washington. And George, you're telling me this is your second scale Masters. Which was the last one you competed in?
I competed in '89 in St. Louis.
George has brought this beautiful P-47. Is it from somebody's kit, or did you scratch build it?
This is a Baker kit, the P-47D, and it's the markings of the squadron commander, Dutch Sluiter, from the 318th Fighter Squadron in Italy in 1944.
It's very interesting. I noticed that you have a very detailed cockpit. How many hours would you say you've got in that?
I have no idea. It took me about a year and a half to make the kit. So.
Year and a half to finish the whole kit out. That's a lot of detail work, and I'm particularly appreciative of all the weathering you put in on it. And I have to ask, how do you make a paint finish look old?
Well, it just takes a little practice. And the nice part about it is if you do it and it doesn't come out right, you just paint over it and try again.
So you have lots of opportunities to get it right. George, what kind of an engine have you got in it?
It's got a Super Tiger 3000.
And you find that's adequate power for pulling it around?
It's great.
What does it weigh
great.
in at?
About 26 pounds.
George Sisti from Seattle, Washington, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Very nice takeoff, George. P-47 is still one of the most realistic models you can build. Looks good no matter where it's going. You got to make sure you get the gear up, though, because nothing hurts your score more than having a gear hang up during competition. That's a shame. And for all those guys that think gear is a gimme, an easy 10, every time you see a gear hang up like that, that's a 7 or an 8 or less. Nice flyby. I think this might be an overshoot or a landing here. Little hot, I'd say. Get that wide gear will probably come through. 15th place, 91 static points. George Sisti. Excellent. P-47, this one by Jeff Miko, or Miko, also a Razorback. This was the first model built from Mike Bilyeu's plans out of Massachusetts. Of all the P-47s out there at this time, this might be the most accurately, or the most, has the most accurate scale outline. While other guys may use different finishing techniques to get extra points, the outline department, this one does a little better. Jeff got 89 static points. The other P-47s are 91 and 92, I believe. Finished in 42nd place. If you guys like P-47s, wait till you see the 100% scale P-47 that will be out by next year by a very famous designer. I think it'll set the scale for eternity on its ear. Fowler flaps, the whole 9 yards. In the meantime, we have a yellow aircraft to choose from, and if you can find a set of Mike Bilyeu's plans, by all means, go at it. Great flying airplanes, great looking airplanes. I understand, too, that Vito Tomeo from here in Florida is now selling plans for his P-47, which is also the same size, 80 inches, which makes 3 P-47s out there right now. A little hard landing, Jeff. Ooh, my gosh. Good looking on the ground, though. Here we have Chuck Fuller from Ramona Avenue, Los Osos, California, and his famous, I guess it's famous, 96-inch Super Stearman. This airplane is, well, I don't know how many pounds it weighs. It's very heavy. Has 2 little wing walkers on the sides there. It's full smoke system. Chuck drew his own plans. All of that lettering is all done by hand. The guy's a master. 65 years old and going on 12. Finished in 6th place. 93.5 static points. He puts out some of the nicest smoke you've seen. I don't know if this does it justice or not, but I've seen this smoke so puffy white. There you go. Unbelievable. There's an avalanche. You'll notice that Chuck flies all his maneuvers. The only option he uses is smoke, and he uses it very well. In fact, he is directly responsible for having the smoke option added back into the Top Gun list of maneuvers that you can do. With a little bit of a twist, however. At Top Gun, whereas the pilot says smoke on now, he must turn the smoke off when the judges tell him to get maximum points. That will ensure that the smoke system is working on command. If you ever need someone to put on an air show demonstration, you cannot go wrong if Chuck Fuller volunteers. Super Stearman. Big old Sachs 5.8. Terrible landing. That's not like Chuck at all. This is Kent Nogi's F-86, also a Bob Violet kit. I guess it's one of 4 or 5 that were at the Masters. Kent's from Paso Robles, California. Finished 10th overall, 92 static points. This guy is one of the world's best Formula One pilots and finishers. This is his first big scale competition, and he did very, very well. Congratulations at 10th place for Kent Nogi. Joe Neighbors' Tucano has been around several years. I saw it fly back in the '84 Masters in Louisville, or sorry, St. Louis, Missouri. 51st place, scratch built, 87.5 static points. OS 60 powered, 68 inches. Here is a gorgeous Messerschmitt that got wrapped up in a ball almost in the earlier footage. I can't say enough about this airplane. I love it. Dave Platt kit. Larry Sutherland built it. It only weighs 15 or 16 pounds. Exquisite color scheme, great detail, good cockpit interior. And I think that Larry just needs a little more experience because this airplane looks too good to whack out like he did. There's our first bad thing that happened. A couple of scrapey wingtips. He gets out of this, though. Once he's settled down, it looks great in the air, doesn't it? This airplane flies like a tail-heavy airplane. And I wouldn't be surprised because most of those kits are a bit tail-heavy. They need a little bit of weight in the nose. Here's Eb Terry's Cub L4, Piper L4, built from a Balsa USA kit. 9-foot wing, which puts it at quarter scale. 18 pounds, OS 160 twin. Nice sound. Several engines at the Masters had a nice sound. The OS 3500 sounds good. Any of the OS twins sound fabulous. The Sato twins sound good. The Enya V240s sound good. There's the best landing I've seen by a Cub at the Masters. Watch that wingtip. We got to turn them off early.